And
Yes, sir. It's
what
not a
can
full
they
discussion,
say?
but it's part of the
Because
discussion.
if you're attacking them the right
Yeah.
mental way, it ain't what we attacking, it's how we attack it. Because they're getting ready to break down some mental illness. They get ready to just say that's something that they're reminding you that you just up under their shit. And what's stopping you from being allowed to do that? Why they have so much authority? And if they get ready to blame it on the sun or something like that, and they know they can't go that far when you're having that type of discussion, they have to let you get something or let you do something that other people ain't thinking like that do. So it's about y'all opening up y'all mouth.
Okay.
About the right shit, though.
Can we overthrow them, or do we have to force them to respect us and love us as like leaders in a better way? Because it's like the idea of actually overthrowing the government seems unfathomable.
It is, y'all, because y'all don't got no government. How y'all gonna overthrow somebody? I wouldn't even look at it like that. I look at everybody like I look at it like people.
Okay.
So when you're jumping in that world, you dealing with people. So you either know how to deal with people or you don't. The harder you is, the more you'll make motherfuckers get down or lay down. The softer you is, the more you'll comply and be docile.
Because
But
I look at it from, because when I look at it from a spiritual lens, it almost makes me feel like, well, shit, they both smack monkeys. Fuck it, it don't really matter. But then when I look at it from an esoteric lens, it's like, damn, that is kind of cool. It's a black woman and a white man in this battle right now. But I'm like, damn, how much power does the government actually have in orchestrating that conversation or that placement? Was that already pre-planned, or is that just God being dope and allowing this time, this season, Gemini versus Libra?
Well,
you know,
God ain't got to do with this. At least all possibilities. Now, if you talk about the Jewish God or the Masonic God, then yeah, it's them. Because y'all, this is what y'all need to understand. Anytime something going on in the world based upon human actions, and then y'all blame it on God, y'all blaming that on a group of men that crafted you to think that way. So let's say you went to jail and you got out of jail and you say by the grace of God I got out of jail. The group of people that made the jail system and who run the world, they did that. They did that. Is them, is you calling them God. And in the highest degrees in masonry, that's what they be learning. You know what I'm saying? For an example, the dudes that's playing God here is a group of Masons. Because when you get to a high degree of masonry, to get in masonry, period, you got to believe in a higher power. But what is a higher power? Authority. Now, you know you can't prove your God in your mind. You only could prove some word that another group of men made with their meaning for them to be in a position. So in masonry, when you reach the highest degree, you're learning what the whole world is worshiping. Some forefathers' idea that's still being used today in oral tradition that they see everybody's culture doing in a different way. But it's the bargaining again. It's the one world government. Now, when you reach the highest degree of masonry, you get taught who that higher power is that you always believed in, whether you was a Christian, whether you was a Islam, whether you was a Muslim. You get taught the dude who originated the idea of a God come to you in a form of a light. And then you'll get taught the meaning behind it. Yeah, when he came up, this going to be in all the religions. This the only way humans is going to think of how this deity can come to them. And this light is Lucifer because it's our form of information, how we can interact with our children not being around them. These are the discussions that they have and shit like that. And the person they learned that from that's dead, they worship that spirit with necromancy and all the holidays and all this goddamn shit all the time. So y'all just worship another man's idea that the government used to run the world, and y'all think it's a god.
Oh, okay. No, I like that. So what is God then? Like, I know you say God is all possibilities. So you don't believe in an actual higher intellectual power?
No, God is nothing. Only intellectual thing is a human. That's a human thought.
In an actual higher intellectual power?
No, God is nothing. Only intellectual thing is a human. That's a human thought. God ain't nothing.
So when we manifest things, because I seen miracles, because I did grow up Christian, so I seen like miracles and things like Holy Ghost. You explained the kind of some of the like people passing out and all that kind of stuff. But as far as I've seen God move, is that just me being a spirit and being able to manifest based off of vibration and movement?
You made that up. The people in the Bible never even seen God. So you took their religion and made up some exaggeration, like a grandma Christianity concept of it. God ain't nothing in the most literate term. So even if you believe in God, every time you describe it, it's going to be nothing. So you need to understand it as a practice. Since you've fallen into something, when you practice nothing, you get a little closer to nothing. So you deal with problems like nothing. The things that could be big issues of something get treated like it's nothing. And therefore, you're in a much lighter. Now, that's an experience, but that experience don't have no name. And what y'all think y'all be seeing is the devil and stuff. That ain't them or your own chakras and stuff.
Okay. So real big God energy, becoming a God body kind of person, but not, Nation of Islam.
You can only try to be God. You can never be God because God ain't nothing. So you can only try to be nothing. But by you being something, you can only try. And you ain't responsible for all possibilities. So you got to do some new thing, limited in your small possibilities. But every time you can bring something new, you bring God in the world. You show others what was once limited not being so limited anymore as an example of a new way to go about it, especially if it's a new way that's better than a previous toxic way. And therefore, you brought a piece of God here. So you do something for God, God do something for you. You bring in a piece of God here, something brand new, expansion in the world, and God makes something mentally or physically that could represent a form of peace for you. So you could be in this fallen space, but still experience a piece of God.
Okay. So it's just being in that space of nothing. And that when you don't want anything, but you're still being your ego, because my ego has desires, but I turn the desires into wheels, move my vehicle, and just experience. Like, don't even really get into too much, just experience based off of me.
Right. Have a will, not a desire. Desire leads to expectations and shortcomings, and having a will leads to having what you deserve and some.
Okay, cool. All right, nice clear up. I like the God conversation. That was a good description of God, because I was kind of wondering that, but it's hard to put that in words. Like you said, it's really not no words, but that space of trying to understand that for real.
Right. Okay. The moment we make too much out of it, we done made a devil, and then we done sacrificed some spirit that we could bring as a child, or drain all that energy and kill that God in some way. And once we drain that God, that we become a God of that thing. And then for the most part, it works for the person's self-serving energies. And every time it don't work, if you punish that spirit inside of that mental form even more and shit like that. And then a lot of times this is what y'all be calling God, some made up devil y'all done made that you want to become a God over, because you can't control nothing outside of you.
Respect. Good shit. I appreciate you, Uriel.
No, real shit. Shout out to Divine Not.
Word, that boy deep, boy. Hey man, y'all tap into Uriel. That man is the deepest, dopest spiritual teacher in existence. You heard it there. Y'all tap in. I'm your friendly neighborhood spiritual teacher. I'm a little bit easier going than Uriel. But y'all tap into him if y'all ready for like that raw dog truth, and y'all really trying to get your chakras aligned and understand life a little bit better and break out of some mental chains. Make sure you're ready, because the type of freedom that comes with the Uriel frequency is it'll put chains on the people around you if you don't know how to properly use that power. You'll set fire to the reality you live within. You might burn your house down if you don't do it correctly. So take your time with Uriel, and I suggest you come and watch me paint, join some of my lives, tap in, subscribe to the vibe. Let's transform step by step. Let's develop wills. like he said, wills, and he broke that down for me a couple months ago, and it really changed things for me. Your wills are the things that you are the things that you have mastered and turned into wills. It's a will. It's no longer a desire. A desire is, oh, I see. Let me not use that example. Okay, a desire would be, oh, I see somebody that paints one day, and I say, hey, I want to be an artist, and I start painting. But it's not something that's innately in me or a real thing. I only want to do it because I seen somebody else doing it, and I desire to become like that person, or I desire to sell paintings. I can turn that desire into a will if, let's say, I get up every morning and I paint for an hour, or every night I paint for 2 hours. Now I'm not just trying to become an artist. I'm not just going out and painting and then trying to sell it and getting frustrated based off of me not being able to paint at the level I want to paint at a fast enough rate. No, I turned that desire into a will because I'm doing it every day and I'm actually planting seeds constantly. Now that desire becomes a will and is no longer demonic because you get what you deserve, not what you want. So now if I do become the world's greatest painter, it's because I deserve it, because I put forth the work, and I already was given the natural God-given talents to paint. So it's not just something, I'm an artist not because it's some shit I seen somebody else do and I was like, oh, I want to do it. It is in a certain degree, but I think the big moment for me was at like 9 or, even younger. So I've been doing art since I was like 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's something I was already good at. And it's a natural God-given talent that I have transformed and turned into a will on my spiritual vehicle, amongst other things. So to be with God is to truly be with nothing. And why that exists, if you're not spiritual and don't understand that concept, the way that works is all things is nothing if you look at it from a spiritual pretext, because all things is just a polar of nothing. And when you're looking at God, God is truly all things, and since God is all things, He's also nothing. It's just the polarization of it. So truly, God has no ego. You can't even limit God to any. Once you try to describe God or limit God to human words, you take away some of the essence of what God truly is. And like he says, it turns into a devil, because now you're trying to describe it and you're trying to take all things, which is nothing, and you're trying to describe it and make it something. Once you take all things and God, nothing, and turn it into something, it becomes a devil, because now you almost turn the mechanism of the universe into something you can use. And if not used properly, that becomes demonic. Some deep shit. Some deep shit. So take your time with this one. Peace, love, and light. I think this was just a good little video. I really like how he broke that down, so I wanted to speak on it. And I'm finna upload this. So peace, love, and light. I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all stay blessed. See y'all next time.